Lovely Thursday evening to everyone. This is Thursday evening. It is now 8:55. It is the 29th of June, Thursday evening. This is a redo of yesterday's part 2 video, which is touring the rolling condo. The video is being redone because I was not aware how to use this particular mobile phone because it's newer to me, and I realized that the angle was from vertical to horizontal, so now I'm going to make it consistent horizontal and keep the angle to where it's favorable to the viewer. So anyway, my name is Saruno. That is me, my nickname, Saruno, and I am inside of a 2009 Ford Econoline E350 extended with the high roof. It does have about 100, I guess 95,000 miles, and I am not new to this lifestyle. I begun this lifestyle in 2006. It was not full-time, but situationally is the reason that I am still a part of this lifestyle, because financially the environment exceeds how much money that we may potentially have or even be able to keep. It's more money going out than staying in. So anyway, this is the driver's seat. I'm in the cockpit, and the amenities of where I'm sitting includes a stereo system. It didn't come with one. It came with just the basic, just a radio, and it does have an air conditioner, which there is a rear air conditioner, and both air conditioners need to be serviced. So primarily, I'm reliant on just the cool breeze and also these portable electric fan. So anyway, I will show where I am, which is basically a dual purpose area. One moment. So this area is where one can come in on the passenger side door. One can come in at full height standing. So this is the door, the driver's side door, which is covered with tarp and comforter, or with sheet or curtain. And I'll explain what one sees, so there isn't any curiosity. I'll do my best to explain perhaps what a person sees. There may be some items not explained or areas maybe not explained. And as mentioned in the previous video, everyone is welcome to ask questions, create comments, ideas, or whatever one wants to communicate. I'm a very welcoming person, and I'll do my best to respond. So this area here is dual purpose. Not only is where one comes in, but I also have hung my clothes there that is for the day. And as mentioned as the previous video, these is not from today. This is just me being lazy. It's really a handle that one can use to control their gait coming in, keep the balance. So this area here is dual purpose for a bathroom, because there is a foldable, which is under this summer dress here, a woman's summer dress. There is a foldable porta potty that has been placed by, well, not this one particularly, but can be placed or has been placed by people's bedside for people that may have some sort of physical limitation or challenge. And so now I'm going to show that this, well, I'll go in a sequential or chronological order. So I'm going to begin with basically saying that you're going to see the kitchen, then living room. Of course, we know that it's combined, but I'm just going to simply give some sort of order. So what This is here. This is a seating area behind the driver's side seat, and that passenger side seat may possibly be altered to where maybe it could be used as a bench. But right now it has been used as a bench where the electric fan is known, and make it to where I can maybe put like a reclinable chair there in the back where my finger is pointing, and also make it to where this can be swiveled so it can be maybe put a table in the middle, make it a booth. But this seat here does not recline. That's the way it came. It does not recline, but I like to put one there that can recline, so therefore it can be comfortable for the traveler, excuse me. So anyway, behind here is actually the emergency glass window, and it's simply covered with a plastic tarp and curtain, and of course the fabric that one sees here. So now this is still part of the kitchen, and so therefore you got the paper towel rolls, and this is the area where dishes is stored, and there are no glass items, so no breakable items in this build. The only part that is glass is what comes with the vehicle, and this glass here, which is the air cooker. This is a plug-in air cooker, and next to it to the right would be the rice cooker. The hand wash here is velcroed, in case if one wonders, does anything move or become thrown. This is just simply got a piece of alien tape and a piece of velcro just to keep it stationary, and it hasn't moved since using it, since traveling with it. This is just simply a Home Depot purchase hand pump, and it contains filtered water, tap water. The reason why I did that is because I wanted to have less microorganisms growing inside. That's why I used some bottled water inside of the tap water. And there's also vinegar, liquid detergent, and bleach to help the water not be polluted, so it keeps the allergens or anything, microorganisms, from populating as such. And I also use this to surface clean and clean self. So it does work fast for those that need a water system. Works fast. So no battery powered, just simply a vacuum pump. And this is a 5-gallon water jug that one can get these at Home Depot, as well as this hand pump from Home Depot. The lighting is battery operated. This Harbor Freight removable magnetic back that can be placed in various places. The sink is IKEA. Also, the cupboard is from IKEA, which has the child locks on there. The diamond knobs, I got those from, Home Depot. Just simply made a drill insert and attached these with a screw back. Same with the bottom, which is in the matching IKEA drawer, with the first drawer being a quote-unquote catch-all for most items like gears and morning. Primarily like a quote-unquote, some people call it junk drawer, but it's a catch-all for me. In the middle drawer is a food pantry. The bottom drawer is for pot and pan or skillet. Here beneath the sink is a fabric. Behind this fabric is a cool box. The cool box is not plugged in now. It does plug in, but because the weather hasn't been extreme, I am just keeping it cool with ice contained canteens. And so therefore in here is two sections which can be removed. Both are separate and can be removed separately, and they just have water inside of the canteens, which is made by Stanley and Ozark for the black one. So the plumbing for the sink is simple, in which it does not drain outside. It just drains into a jug, and the jug which purchased, actually it was not, but these can be brought, at least at the time of this video, from Walmart. And I have seen similarities, if not the same one, at Harbor Freight. Gonna shine light so one can see. And so the turquoise colored or mint green colored jug in the back is 6 gallons. It's slim. That's about the closest I can get without pulling the cool box out. And it has a lid if one wants to use one. And it's hyper, at the moment when I saw it, the optical illusion was I thought that this 5-gallon jug would have been too much liquid for this one because it's narrow, but it's tall. But this is actually 6 gallons opposed to the 5-gallon jug. So that's great how that worked, because it's narrow enough to go in this space that can be used for the plumbing that it does. And it does drain well, and just gravity, very simplistic. And the white that's in the background are cutting boards. So that's the sink, plumbing, and cool box. And what is holding this fabric to the sink is magnets. And these are the magnets that are an Amazon find. It doesn't mean that Amazon sells them, but it's just simply one of the sellers have these, which is here. Green, not necessarily, you get those in various colors, it's one manto, but those are just magnets, which is used to hold the curtain as well. Moving on from the, by the way, the kitchen is extended. And what I mean by the extended is that it's dual purpose, because it's not just in this kitchen area that was shown, it's shared with the living room. So now moving on to the living room, and I'll explain the extension. So now this is the living room. And the living room features a sofa bed. And the sofa bed is an Amazon find. It was, the seller is in Asia. So this arrived from Asia. I have 2 of these. Yeah, so the second one is stored at the time because I couldn't realistically figure or justify having a second sofa bed in this build. So the sofa bed is not used as a sofa bed at this time. It's been provided in addition, and the addition is a aluminum workbench that will go in the center aisle. And in the center aisle on that bench will have a styrofoam cushion, which is going to be seen momentarily. And it is comfortable. And on top of the fabric of this sofa bed is a cushion, which is here, which is basically, not even basically, it's a gym mat, probably for a daycare center. This was brought from a secondhand store, as many items are that one may see eventually. I may announce it, or it may come in a different video. Secondhand store does not necessarily mean that it's used. It may be gently used, or it may be new brand. But that one's used, and I cut it in half because it was actually 4 panels of the cushion. 2 of them are in storage. The other 2, as one is behind the backrest of these, and it will go across the fabric of the sofa bed, and the other half is on the bench that will go in the center of this, between the table and the sofa bed, which is going to be seen momentarily. So the sofa bed can be adjusted where the backrest that was just pulled forward can be laid flat backwards, and the arms can be lowered to be flattened to be used as a bed. It's primarily a one-person bed because it's not even for 2 people to lay the same length. So therefore, that's what the addition is for, is to substitute somewhat for that. But or just add a secondary bed and just don't have the table there, which could be done, but then it will most certainly make the amount of room between the table and the sofa bed to be quite limited. So in reference to where the bench is under the table there, and in reference to this table is and we're only talking about just the chrome stainless steel plated table, is from Home Depot. It does not come with the plastic, which looks like wood, top that's on top. That's melamine, and melamine is just simply a plastic with a decorative looking wood. So it's not wood at all, it's all plastic. And just simply just a secondhand store find, and just coincidentally fit on top to provide a solid surface, so therefore the bars underneath there of the actual table does not bend. So the bench is under this fabric here. And that is a aluminum workbench, and the height is 3 feet by 9 inches, and it's about 36 inches wide, perhaps longer than that, but I think it's 36 inches wide. I think it's longer than that width wise. And this is the gym mat that me show you earlier that's behind this sofa bed. This is what it looks like without the fabric on it. And it fits coincidentally the same length, so it didn't have to be cut. I said length. Width. It just happens to fit width-wise. And it did have to be cut going this way to fit on the bench. And it'll be covered with fabric when it's time to use it to lay, so it's not going to be stained or anything like that potentially. So that is the bench that will substitute for the sofa bed, and that'll also keep the sofa bed from getting the normal use of wear and tear. The cool box, I meant to say, and now will be added as also a part of the sleeping arrangement, because it could be pulled from the spot and leveled, or basically lined with the sofa bed to make it supportive for laying, in addition to the bench, because the bench is the same width as the sofa bed. I'm sorry, the bench is from here to here. Does not include the arms. The arms exceed the length of, or the width of the bench, and that's why this cool box will help, so therefore when being in a restful state, legs don't have to be just dangling. Sure, can just lay on their sofa bed, but if there was a secondary person, then it would be wise to have that cool box there. The lights are also an inexpensive Amazon find. They're battery operated, has multiple colors and patterns, easy to stick onto the surface. The electronics, or the power source, is batteries for some items in here, such as the lights there, the lights here, and I almost never use the motor to produce these lights here. The ones that are block sheet, those are ordinarily off. And there is a battery or solar battery option that isn't used often, because it's got to make certain that there's a way to recharge it. But otherwise, there is a solar panel to help restore the power for the solar panel, and that solar panel is behind the fabric that's straight ahead in view. It has not been used yet to learn if it's sufficient, but it is there perhaps to restore some power. And as mentioned, an extension part of the kitchen will be this table here, because it's solid enough to take a cutting board and place it on here to be able to support moving and pressing weight on this surface, because it's solid enough to not bend the bars under there. And what I mean by bend the bars is because this is the table without the wooden slats on it, and those are actually Home Depot wooden slats, real flooring. I just added that because I actually got that first. In fact, I didn't add that. I had that first before these were found, and I just figured just keep them there, since it fills in the gap, because these are separate panels. These are wax warmers, and these are plug-in wax warmers, and they will be plugged into the solar generator that is not in view at the moment. As mentioned, there's a second air conditioner which is here, that, as mentioned, needs to be serviced, and the service bill is $2,600 for both of them combined, and I paid $400 so far to the Ford dealer to restore these to work. Right now they blow room air, and it's more noise than it's relieving. Here is, as mentioned, as a part of the kitchen, and that's more so haven't been used as a kitchen item, because I haven't determine if it's safe enough to be used indoors. This is a 2-burner propane cooker, and with the spatula that is a cast iron skillet. This is a camp shelf Explorer 2 Deluxe. And what makes it a deluxe is because on the front face of this, which is probably unlikely to be seen very easily, is that shiny plate that you probably see. It is just like a matte gray, but that is a reason for it being called a deluxe, is because of the front plate with the 2 knobs attached. And it did not come with this barbecue box, but it is from Camp Shelf as well. This is a Camp Shelf barbecue box, and the barbecue box does not accept or operate via using wood or charcoal. It is just for propane. And so that's the inside of it, in which it will accept the propane fire. So this unit has not been used indoors. It's only been used outside because we can't accept right now if this is going to be safe as a indoor cooking source. But yet I would love to learn if I can make this as a heat source as well as a cooker. And that's why I got the barbecue box, is to not only use it for keeping foods hot, but also to learn if I can contain the flame. So instead of a flame going up and causing a heat pit in the ceiling, I figured, well, if it's contained with a barbecue box, then maybe the flame can be safer to use inside, in addition to with the fan. And I figured the fan could maybe be mounted somewhere there. And I'm not saying it'll be next to this sofa bed, but I'm just saying if it's to be used, maybe the flame could be captured inside of here and added with a fan to blow it so the heat won't concentrate in the ceiling or on the ceiling. So that is a Camp Shelf Explorer 2 Deluxe. What one sees is green, that is a comforter or a sleeping bag comforter. The 2 blue plastic, those are collapsible boxes that I use to bring groceries, in which I don't want to necessarily carry them in bags, so I put the bags inside of those collapsible containers, and put those 2 containers inside of a collapsible, or not collapsible, but folding wheelchair. And the folding wheelchair has the small wheels opposed to the 2 big wheels in the back and 2 small wheels in the front. They're all small 4 wheels. And that's what helps me to transport these 2 containers with groceries inside. And I may oversimplify how I talk, but I want to make sure that I'm understood by everyone. So that, and there's a propane tank slightly out of view beneath the mittens. And that propane tank goes outside when it's time to make supper. And there is also a carbon monoxide meter, because propane is a heavier gas, so therefore it goes down to the ground opposed to oxygen that goes up. And so that white device is the carbon monoxide meter, which is battery operated, and it is actively operating. Surprisingly, haven't blinked, but otherwise it does. So there is a power source in here, and it's a solar generator, and it allows me to use this air cooker and pasta cooker, the wax warmers, my laptop, not necessarily combined or together at once, but at least it's enough for me to be able to not have to keep recharging it as early. There is also a way that I figured to charge the solar generator as well as use items in case if solar isn't an option. And I have a gas generator as well, and that gas generator has not been used yet, but it is beneath, which is out of view, but it's beneath this propane cooker, and beneath where one can maybe see where it says 10-inch, and that is basically the wheel kit to the generator below, and that's the wheel kit that's actually on top of the generator, which I may do a daytime tour of this. It is I'll show the outside right now. So it's darker now. So as mentioned, I'm on the city street, just so those can know that it's not always going to be the more ideal places that maybe people show, maybe from a beach setting, somewhere that is tranquil in the woods and serene and sexy. I'm showing that, well, may have to use what's convenient, and for me it has been city streets. So haven't had the pleasure of having a tranquil, serene, or sexy environment, but me grateful for what me have been exposed to. So anyway, this is just over 30 minutes, and I don't have a concern about how long the video is. I just wanted to be informative and potentially helpful for those that maybe want to expand their lifestyle or enter the lifestyle or learn more about what I'm doing. And I say what me doing is because I'm primarily the one that is a part of this lifestyle. I got people that I know of, but ordinarily it's what I'm doing in reference to this lifestyle, because I don't ordinarily have much contact with people. So this is the 2009 Ford Econoline E350. This is the extended with the high roof, and the features that it came with is the max air fan, which is inoperable because the wiring was not correctly done. I don't know why or who did it, but I'm going to have it corrected at some point. The air conditioner there and the one in the front came with it. The lights, not the stick-on lights, but I'm talking about just these square-shaped lights come with it. So everything else is primarily in addition, because this was a wheelchair transportation van. Oh, here is a wardrobe cabinet. I try to make it available for a second person, so basically half and half, Jack and Jill. So this is a wardrobe storage. And also behind this fabric in front of we is also an area where there's hangers. So it's not only just a solar panel, but it's basically a garage. And the garage consists of hangers for a wardrobe as well. And also out of view, the folding wheelchair, which is all there now. The generator, the gas generator, the propane tank, the ladder. The ladder is the extendable one that reaches about 12 feet. And I use that extendable ladder because there are solar panels above here. There are solar panels up there. There's two solar panels by REMAKE, but they're not operational at this time because I got to get the wiring repaired, and that I got to do so I can assist the solar generators to be charged. So prayfully that this is a helpful introduction to the 2009 Ford Econoline E350 extended high roof rolling condo, and also an introduction to me. My nickname is Saruno, and welcome to the channel. Please support. And as mentioned, one can provide gifts of love, and those gifts of love can be sent in the form of mail. It could be used in the form of Patreon, or just simply what method that will allow you to help me to receive. And would love to meet with you people, because I love beautiful people who are like-minded, who understand each other holistically, or willing to learn each other holistically, opposed to having a sort of lifestyle that defines a person. I simply just want to just accept the person and their expression without prejudice. So if there's questions, comments, I will read and do my best to listen or respond to comments, questions, complaints, suggestions, ideas, to make this channel entertaining or interesting or informative, or a combination of all of the above. And now going to, with me, and I don't do a lot of exaggerating. Now, what I'm saying this because what I'm about to say is a fact. Me poor, not as in destitute as such, but me poor. I don't have much anymore. A lot has occurred. Life events have occurred that has caused me to create this reality of not having much money or resources to be able to be the person that I really prefer to be. It's raining, so I'm just learning to know if I should shut the window or raise the window, we should say. So anyway, but yeah, situationally, decisions were made that created a mistake in which it caused me to be, maybe I shouldn't say it caused me, but me caused me to become poor. And that was from ignorance, stupidity, and therefore I am using this lifestyle. I'm gonna have to raise the window. Un momento, por favor. Don't want the rain to affect the electronic window brazier button. So anyway, me grateful, me researching how to become financially free, and this is a part of that way of doing it. Like I mentioned, this lifestyle started in 2006 at a 2-bedroom 3-story, 2-car garage townhome that me didn't own. And the money I supported another household at the time, and the money exceeded the lifestyle and its obligations, and so therefore I need to learn that the ceiling needs to be closed because it's got that max airflow. I'm not sure if it's open. And so therefore decided to be realistic and not struggle to have the facade or the look of doing well when internally it's not that way. So I basically took most of the items and give them to people and trash them and store them until I was able to create a place to put. So now that this is part of that where we put, so a lot of the stuff that one sees are years old. Some of them is from maybe 5 years, 6 years ago, and it was just stored, and it just looks like everything is all the same edge. I just tried to keep from using it until it was time to put it all together so it can look like if it's all the same edge. And since being a part of this lifestyle, it hasn't been much saved. It's been less money used, if that makes sense. So it's not much money saved because we don't make much money, because I don't have a traditional job that has like a commitment as such, like a 40-hour commitment or a specific scheduling. No, I am a hobo, a gypsy, and I'm just a hippie, and really want to be free at all times. And so therefore I've rejected the money that I could have made so I could have freedom, because if one thinks about it, to do an 8-hour shift, one really does about 16 hours or near 16 hours to do the 8-hour shift, because one has to sleep for the employer before the job start, make themselves ready for the employer before the job start, travel for the employer before the job start, do the task for the employer for 8 hours. Once the 8 hours is finished just for the employer, now one has to travel away from the job to refresh for the next shift, and then try to do what one can do before one sleep to do the next shift. So it's most certainly an understanding that caused me to do what me doing, because I understand that it's not 8 hours, it's not 40 hours for the employer, even though the employer receives 8 to 40 hours of service from the person, but the person who's performing those duties exceed 40 hours, even though the employer doesn't pay the person for that travel, for that sleep, for that to and from. It still benefits the employer, because that's how one has to do, because you don't live with the employer. So it's still for the employer, because I don't receive any pleasure from it. And so therefore the last commitment I have with an employer is when I used to be a licensed practical nurse, and I was not passionate about doing that. After so long of doing it, I was magnificent at doing it, but it was more, again, me giving out more than receiving, because what I was gradually doing was making myself deficient by putting the strain on my mind, my body, So therefore, I decided to make this a part of my lifestyle, where prayerfully, just interacting with you beautiful people can become an income at some point. I may have to do something in addition to it, and I'm willing to do that, but I'm just trying not to go back to a traditional atmosphere to earn money, because I'm not happy when I did it the traditional way. I was excellent at what me did, and but I was not happy to do it. So this video has exceeded probably what makes sense to you all, but it may reach someone out there, and it may just be informative, educational, and it may even just maybe cause that person to want to vibe with me, and maybe we can become fellow with each other. So have a magnificent Thursday evening. Prayerfully it is peaceful and harmony and in unity. And another video will follow. Perhaps maybe doing another tour, maybe the outside. But I would prefer if people provide their suggestions, their thoughts, their complaints, their ideas of what would one like to know about. I may not necessarily accommodate that, but I may at least attempt to, because I mean there has to be some perhaps boundary to keep safety first, because maybe too much information may create a problem. So anyway, I'm mostly available to read people's comments and even perhaps communicate verbally or visually, so therefore we can vibe and, like I said, become fellows and basically fellowship. So have a magnificent Thursday evening. This is the 29th of June on a Thursday evening. So, hablar contigo después y chao pa ahora. Sí. Hasta luego.